Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John, and actually, hang on. Actually, it's a bit more complicated than that today. Because I'm also John in VR, hovering terrifyingly above a massive cocky planet. VR is terrifying. And this is Tetris Effect, which, much like me, is not actually one thing, but instead is two identical but very different things. Because you see, Tetris Effect just made the move from PlayStation 4 to PC, and it's a game you can play in two ways, either as normal with a monitor, or in virtual reality. So today, I'm going to be putting both versions side by side to see which one is the best. Right, so let's start off with the traditional PC experience here, because Tetris Effect is conceptually very, very weird. Tetris, not a complicated game. There are hermits in Mongolia that understand the rules of Tetris. But this one takes a bit of an interesting approach. Tetris Effect's primary mode is Journey Mode, a main campaign comprising of a voyage of emotion and discovery. And if this is the first time you've been exposed to Tetris Effect, that probably sounds like lunacy on toast. Emotional Tetris just sounds like absolute bananas. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not flipping lying. So I could try to explain this to you, but I think it's easier if we just dive straight in. So yeah, let's just go for one of the chapters with 4 individual levels within it. So you may notice right now I'm just in an empty black arena, but if I move the blocks about a bit, we just get ourselves a handful of notes. Nothing much yet, but just the very beginning of a bit of a musical score. So just slap that down. And we've just got a handful of bubbles. Start spinning them around, however, and we get a little bit more coming in. So just slap that down too, just put you on one side. As we get our first line, we get some bubbles starting to appear, and the music and the visuals all just start ramping up and up and up. And I could commentate this, but I feel like there's nothing I can say better than just basically letting you watch and listen. So I'm going to be quiet for a bit. You guys have fun. That there, with the number of lines achieved, is the end of the first chapter. Now, I was trying to be as low as possible at the very end there, because I get to carry all the blocks that are left at the bottom forward, but shuffled a bit. So now, we're in a brand new area, All I need to do now is get rid of these as fast as possible. One other thing, that meter at the bottom, I can activate that anytime I want to. That basically stops them falling, and if I can actually just get myself a load of clears while that's active, it's basically just worth a giant pile of bonus points. So very, very much worth activating if you can get a good time for it. Here we go, I'm going to go for it right here. So drop that down over there. Now I just need to get as much as I can as quickly as possible before that wears off. So that's an 8, which is what you really need. And now anything beyond that is basically just crazy bonus score. Though I've thrown down a couple of wastes. There's 11. 11, 12. Now that's a big old giant pile of points right there. So that's what you want to use the zone for. And there we go. Pretty much mission objective completed there. Going into the third mission with as few bits and pieces as possible. I believe this is Bubbles, isn't it? I like Bubbles. Bubbles is good. So yeah, now we can just start continuing the good work right here. There we go. I had some really bad misclicks at the beginning there. That almost screwed me over, but I'm just about okay. By the way, this is where things go to hell, because in the final mission, that's where the game starts really testing you. This is going to be, by the end, stupid fast. So if I don't do a good job keeping things nice and low for a lot of this, yeah, we're going to be in trouble. By the way, we're going to be in a lot of trouble because things are going to get stupid fast by the end. Yeah, I'm just going to use the freeze time function right now, actually, because otherwise this is all going to go to hell very quickly, actually. Let's just quickly get rid of some of you. Get rid of some of you as well. Get rid of you. That'll do the job right there. That's an 8. There we go. That's got rid of most of that. Oh, flip, there it is. That was the last one we needed. Yeah, even in World 2, which is what this is, this gets fast really, really badly at the end there. It's pretty bloody stressful at the end. Marvellous. And if you need to calm down after that slightly stressful campaign, don't worry, the game's got a whole bunch of extra modes as well in effect mode. So yeah, you've got all these relaxed settings right here. So a nice quick play with no game over whatsoever. Chill marathon. You just have a playlist according to theme if you just want all the sea themed ones or the wind themed ones or the world themed ones. And then yeah, there's some more kind of aggressive ones you need to focus on and wacky adventurous ones with a couple of different rule variations. And you're probably thinking, John, that's just Tetris with a light show. And yes, it is. But it's one hell of a light show. Speaking of which, I think we need to go and check in with VR John now, because I suspect for him, this is going to be something quite a bit more, in fact. Yeah, just to confirm, just standing on the title screen. Pretty cocky, terrifying, actually. So, the very first chapter in VR. But on this occasion, of course, being in VR, I can actually look around. So the things that are happening in this really beautiful display don't necessarily have to be happening exclusively in my field of vision. Colour and light and flashes can happen off in any direction. So you just feel like things are happening all around you. But right now, nothing's really happening around me. It's just an entirely black empty space. But slap down a little handful of lines and all of a sudden, yeah, little bubbles and fish start being all around me. I can turn around and see all these beautiful, beautiful fish, and it's one hell of a thing to experience. It really, really bloody is. So let's just get a few more lines down here. I will say, one problem I do have is I've actually gone over to a gamepad rather than using the Vive controllers, because the Vive controllers aren't desperately well suited to Tetris because, yeah, the little kind of touchpad isn't suited to the accuracy. It's way too easy to accidentally misclick and actually, when you're about to hard drop something, actually move it over one before you actually get the hard drop in, which is sometimes not always, you know, that useful, to be perfectly honest. So as a result of that, yeah, I've gone back over to an actual controller here, which I'm much more comfortable with. But just as we have more and more lines, all of a sudden, there's fish and bubbles and the rocks down there, and there's more fish down there as well, and bloody hell, it's one hell of a thing. It is one hell of a bloody thing. Right, I think we're probably, 10 lines. We must be almost ready to move forward a bit. And come on, give me a bit more. There we go. And now, everything's getting a little bit more, everything. Now there's big rays everywhere. I can look up and I can literally see the surface of the ocean above me. And down below, I can just see the rocks. So I've literally moved up in the world. I didn't actually get that that was what was happening. In VR, you have the sense of scale so much more, which is, it's incredible. Okay, there's now a giant, massive cooking space well, and it's really, really, really big feeling. That feels very large, and it's doing spins. It does spins when I actually put down pieces and get lines. I'm not sure I want to get lines anymore. Yeah, you may notice I'm playing very, very badly because this is just phenomenal. Right here. Absolutely ridiculous, actually. And the whales doing little tricks and the fish are pulsating with the music of bloody hell. Though as you go on, this just becomes more and more and more, because those first 3 levels in the first chapter, those are fairly simple, all things considered. Let's just nip down over here to chapter 3 and, oh, this is a nightmare. I'm gonna fail horribly at this because that final mission, Spirit Canyon, that's a flipping nightmare. But what is nice is, as you go on, the levels get bigger and bigger and more detailed. So, let's just nip in here. You see, now I'm in the middle of a desert with a bit of a caravan going on here. But if I turn around, the caravan's literally going off into the distance behind me. It's everywhere. I can just look around. There's just a full desert around me. There's the sun over there, because obviously it is. And it's just, you know, it's Tetris, but Tetris and I'm standing in the middle of a desert. So, why the bloody hell? Oh, what the hell is this? It's ridiculous and wonderful, and I can barely even explain it. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just going to see if I can maybe play Tetris somewhat well. Enjoy. Oh, bloody hell, where am I going? Okay, now I'm miles above a desert, and... Okay, slightly vertigo-y, it's fine, it's everything under control. This is such a trance-like game, by the way. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, it's impossible to commentate because you just go into a trance. You're just in an absolute total trance this whole time. It's amazing. Okay, this is all looking good so far, but, yeah, the next mission ain't... Oh, that's... Whoa! Okay. Hang on. Yeah, this is the city one, isn't it? Yeah, this is... This one's not so bad. We're not on the final one yet. It's the final one that's gonna kill ya. You may notice you sometimes get a bit of a moment's grace, by the way. The speed goes down from the end of one mission to the beginning of the next. So you've got a moment to get caught up. Make sure you do it, because we're not going to be on speed 4 for long. And there we go. That's pretty much perfect as an ending to the New York level. Because now I'm going into the final death level with as little as possible. This is, oh yeah, level 3 speed. Yeah, that ain't gonna last. This is gonna get, mean. Pretty darn quick, actually. Right, screw it. Let's just drop some stuff here. May as well get myself some extra points if I can. Come on, there we go. There's the 8. Let's see if I can do at least a little bit more, if at all possible. There's the 9. The 9 never hurts. Oh, 11. That'll flip it, do the job right there. But yeah, those don't actually count towards the number you've got to clear. That's just if you score chasing. And I've made it through. Cock, I actually did it. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I've failed that twice before. Okay. Whew. Oh, B. You know what? I'll take a B. It's better than a fail. And the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure I can really explain to you why Tetris Effect in VR is so incredible, because like all the best VR experiences, ultimately it's experiential. It's about being in it. It's just about experiencing something you can't get anywhere else in gaming ever. It's an incredible experience, and the best word I can come up with is trance-like, which is probably 2 words hyphenated, but whatever. You're just conceptually aware, oh yeah, I'm in a desert, now I'm flying over the desert, and now I'm on the moon. Your brain sort of accepts it, which in VR it already does. Your brain's willing to be tricked very easily in VR, which I could very much vouch for, because bloody hell, don't look down at this screen, the vertigo is... It's pretty damn strong. But when you put your brain on autopilot by going into a Tetris trance, you just sort of accept, I am in these fantastical light shows. It's wonderful. It's just flipping wonderful. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, Tetris Effect. And I just like to take a moment to be very grateful for the fact that we all live in the timeline where Tetris has been converted into a battle royale game, and a musical emotional art piece, and both of them have been absolutely flipping fantastic. But as for Tetris Effect itself, if you've just got a PC and you're not actually in VR in any capacity, I think your mileage will vary depending on how much you love Tetris, because I quite like Tetris, I find it relaxing to play, so for me, even outside of VR, this has been a really cool experience I've wanted to try more of. It's just beautiful and great to listen to, and it's just very, very compelling indeed. But if you do have a VR headset, I've got to say the must-haves are now Beat Saber, Super Hot VR, and this. This in VR is just... I can't explain it. If you've never actually been in VR, you probably don't understand just watching it on YouTube, but it is an incredible, incredible experience, just in the same way that Beat Saber is. But bloody hell, who'd have thought Tetris was up for so much reinvention over the last year or so? Absolutely flippin' phenomenal. Long may it continue. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Tetris Effect. Thank you very much, and goodbye. This is the face of death. Okay, this is what my sudden death looks like. Do not engage before we arrive. Do not engage. What are you doing? I specifically said don't. Oh, no.
No, John.
Oh, he likes that. The Romans touched me.